Tenor Guitar Time. Today, let's learn a tenor guitar version of the classic Neil Young song, Cinnamon Girl. We're tuned in GDAE today. Thanks for watching Tenor Guitar Time. Subscribe below if you haven't already. And there will be charts, chord charts, and progressions on Patreon if you'd like to dig more into this and have a printable sheet that you can learn from. Now, I would probably categorize this tune into the intermediate, maybe advanced level. Let's get right into it and start with the main riff. I'm going to bar across my 5th fret, but I'm really only striking. We want to do power chords, so a lot of this tune we're going to be playing the low 2 notes on our guitar. The first part of the riff goes from the C to the D. So I'm power chording the C, the lower 2 notes, and then when I hammer on to the D, I can leave that barred finger on the 5th fret because there's a D5, D-A, D-A, which if you've seen my other lessons, that's our power chord, our 5 chord. It's just the root and 5th twice. All right, so. Okay, so what's that? So after the first hammer on, goes C, B, A, F. And I'm just really hitting the 2 low notes again. C on the 5th. So C, B, A, the low 2 notes. And then on the F, I'm barring the middle 2 notes on the 3rd fret and hitting the root note at the 5th. That's our F, and we're going to slide to G. So the second time it goes around, it stops on the F. So that's the main riff. It does that twice. So here's the whole main riff. All right, so it'll go to that in between the verses. And now let's talk about the verse chords. I want to live with the cinnamon girl. So we're going to go up to play this A-shaped D chord on the 7th fret. Now you can kind of emulate the melody by lifting your 3rd finger off of this 3rd note of the chord off and on. So that's D, then it goes to A minor 7th. And the melody is going to lift off this 1st finger. And then lift your pinky, so. Then it goes to C, and now it's an A-shaped C chord at the 5th fret, but I'm not going to use my pinky here because I want to stretch up to this D note here with my pinky. So I'm going to use my 2nd and 3rd fingers. And now the last chord in the line is a G, so you could do this shape right here, or type thing, which sounds more like the tune to me. Of course, we're emulating this on a tenor, so we got to fudge some things a little bit. So 7th fret, low string, 9th fret, D string, 5th fret, A string, and then I kind of do a little melody work going from the 7th to the 5th with this finger. Okay, so that verse. Okay, then the verse line ends with this different riff. I'll call this riff 2. So this one, that F shape that we used before, we're going to slide from F to G to A, and then end with that same hammer-on that we started the main riff on. Okay, so that is, so here, I'll just play it out of the first line. And then it repeats that line. Okay, so that finishes the whole first verse, and then it's going to repeat the main riff, all right? And then it's going to do the next verse. The second verse is the same as the first, and it repeats the main riff at the end of those two lines again. And then it goes to the bridge. So it's going to hold these chords for 8 beats. C, and then kind of a D minor with a G on the low end, and an A. And I'm going to use this shape for the C. Instead of doing a regular C chord like this, I'm going to add the G note on the high string. And then it goes to the solo, which is the same chord progression as the verse. The solo should at least be as long as the verse, those 2 lines. Really, that's about it. So the solo, it does the same progression as the verses. And then at the very end of the solo, it doesn't repeat the main riff. Instead, it just kind of goes to this D chord that he kind of plays minor notes off of. You could just fret the second note, second fret, low note, and then hammer on the B flat and the F and maybe the C sometimes. Yeah. All right, so that's Cinnamon Girl. Practice that tune. It's really fun to play it loud with your gain cranked on your amp. Hopefully you've got an electric tenor guitar handy. If not, you can play it acoustic. I've heard Neil do this song acoustic. It sounds great too, only it doesn't quite have the oomph. And thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Again, check out Patreon for the printed charts for this tune, for the GDAE tenor guitar arrangement, and let's keep practicing.